TBTL.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Hey Dummies. My name is Andrew, and I shall be your dummy today. You know that expression, it's not you, it's me? I mean it sincerely when I say it's not you, it's me. Let me explain. This video series, which hopefully you're familiar with at this point, it's based on the idea that you send us questions and me and Luke will answer them to the best of our ability. Questions about our lives, our opinions, our tastes, maybe even just questions about the podcast itself. You send them in to me. Andrew at tbtl.net is the email address. You put Hey Dummies in the subject line. You can ask us anything. And I am here today, hat in hand, asking you to send more questions in for us. This is where the confession comes in, was just perusing the list of questions that I currently have. So you guys send in questions. I add them to a Google Doc. When Luke and or I answer them, I remove them from the Google Doc. And the truth is, the Google Doc is years and years old now, and I was scrolling through it, and there are a bunch of questions that go back probably years. And I feel a little bit bad asking you for more questions when I have perfectly good questions at home, as they say. But the thing is, I don't want to be insulting about it because the questions are good. The questions are fine, the ones I haven't answered yet. But it occurred to me, the reason I haven't answered them is because I don't have a good answer to them. And I always worry about hurting people's feelings when I come onto this video and I say, please send us more questions. And some of you out there are like, but I sent you a question. I sent you a question in like 2017 and you haven't gotten to it yet. Why don't you answer that? And then you might start thinking to yourself, was my question bad? Am I bad? Am I a bad person for sending that question? And the answer, of course, is, well, I don't really know whether or not you're a good person. I don't know your whole life. But you're not a bad person for sending in a question. In fact, the questions are good. But some questions I just don't have a good answer to. And so therefore, I've been letting those linger. And if we can acknowledge that you shouldn't feel bad about the questions you sent in, and I shouldn't feel guilty for not answering them, maybe we can all just start over and you can send me some new questions without any feelings being hurt. I desperately need some new questions from you guys. And in the meantime, what I have done for today's video is I typed into Google something. I typed in Icebreaker question generator, and I am on a website now called Parable, Parabol, Parabol. And I don't know if this is an AI thing now that I think about it. I don't know. But basically, I can just keep on getting a bunch of icebreaker type of questions that the computer will ask me, and I will try to answer them kind of rapid fire. Now, this is a very dangerous game, and I'm even wondering if you'll ever even see this, because this might completely crash and burn, and then I won't even post this video. Because the whole thing about me is I'm not like real quick-witted. Like my strengths, whatever they are not necessarily being like kind of quick on my feet and giving short little answers. But I thought maybe what we could try to do today is I will keep hitting refresh on this thing, and as it fires questions at me, these are kind of get to know you style questions, I will try to answer them as quickly as I can and then move on to the next one. And let's see how many we can get through. I'm thinking, like, can I get through 5 of these? More? I'm nervous about this. I literally don't know if this is going to work or not. Am I even recording? Yeah, okay, we're recording. Okay, here we go. First question. If you had to describe how you're feeling right now as an amusement park ride, what ride are you on? What ride am I on? I am on you know what I'm on? I'm on a roller coaster, but only the part that keeps going up. I'm just stuck permanently in the part of the roller coaster that keeps clacking up, and the anxiety is getting higher and higher and higher and more intense, and eventually it's going to crest and I'm going to come down. The only thing is it just keeps going up. It never comes down. Okay, next question. Who's an ex-colleague from this job or another that you still think about? Oh, this is kind of a good one. I have a lot of people that I've worked with that I think about a lot, and I try to stay in touch with them. Related to TBTL, I think of our friend Kiki Lolo, whom we used to work with. Christina Lopez was her given name over at American Public Media. I worked with her closely for years, and I think she ended up leaving APM before we did, but either way, we're not colleagues anymore. We try to stay in touch. Honestly, the fact that I'm not on much social media anymore has made it kind of harder to stay in touch with like kind of my casual acquaintances like that. But I almost feel bad calling Kiki Lolo a casual acquaintance at this stage because I love her to death. And we did get a chance to check in somewhat recently. She is in Los Angeles doing some great stuff herself. And I think about her a lot when I'm doing this job and thinking how I enjoyed working with her. And frankly, sometimes wishing that she was still here to help me with a lot of stuff. I think about some of my former bosses. Mike Arnold was my boss at New Hampshire Public Radio for a while and was more than a boss. He was like a mentor to me in a lot of ways. I haven't spoken with him in quite some time now, several years. In fact, I should probably reach out. But he really had a lot to do with sort of helping me form not just who I am today as a radio professional, but also how I think about radio. So those are two ex-colleagues. How about another one? What's a book that you would like to live in? Okay, I know this has to be rapid fire. What's a book that I would love to live in? I just finished The Count of Monte Cristo. I do not want to live in that. What if I just list all the books I don't want to live in? Let's see here. The Great Gatsby. The thing about me, though, while The Great Gatsby seems like sort of, well, both, well, it's fun until it's very not fun, if you're familiar with the text. It's a very tragic book. But when you think about, like, the garden parties and everything, that all seems like very romantic and fun and nice. But then I also think, it's a different time, though. I don't know that I could ever go back in time. When people ask me, and I know this is a different question, but when people ask me if you could build a time machine, what era would you go to? I don't think I want to go back to anything prior to, like, 1991, because honestly, the further back in time you go, the dirtier things are. We just had less and less cleaning technology or standards or whatever. So I don't even know if I want to go back to the 1920s because I think that everything would smell like probably smoke and BO. So what book would have I said enough on this one? Have I just tap danced my way around this question? I feel like this is going to haunt me if I move on right now. There are the books I love often have like danger and daring do in them, and so therefore I don't want to live in them. I've often said, this is again me tap dancing around the question, like I love how cozy horror movies are, especially those from like the 70s and early 80s until the horror part stops. I would love to live in just the beginning of a horror movie without any of the horror, because often it's just like kids hanging out at summer camp or swimming in lakes, that kind of thing. I need to think more about this question. Clearly, I'm punting on it. If you could live with any fictional character, who would you choose? This one is again... It's such a big question. The Great Gatsby. Okay, what's a sauce, condiment, or dressing you couldn't live without? I mean, I think I could live without any condiment, obviously. Many people do, but I would probably put barbecue. I love barbecue sauce. I would label it as one of my favorite condiments, but you really lock into only being able to use that on certain kinds of food. It's not as universal as mustard, because I could say mustard here, but if I say mustard, does that cover any kind of mustard? Because there are so many different kinds of mustard. Speaking of mustard, by the way, we've got to play this. Thanks, Kendrick. I'm going to go with mustard, with the assumption that I can have as many different kinds of mustard as I want, because that covers a lot of bases. Okay, let's do a couple more of these. If you had to describe how you're feeling right now as an amusement park ride, what ride are we out of questions? That was the first one. If you did not have to sleep, how would you spend the extra 8 hours? Trying to sleep. All right, last one here. What's something you're worried about? What's something I'm worried about? Gestures towards everything. All right, let's leave it there, everybody. I hope this has inspired you to send in some more questions for me. I know that I was all over the place today. I'm coming in with a weird energy. But you can email me your questions, andrew@tbtl.net. Put Hey Dummies in the subject line. Questions for me and Luke, or Luke if you want to specify it. And you know what? I can always just go right back to my AI-generated icebreaker questions for the next video I'm responsible for, too, if we like this. So hope you all have a really, really good weekend. Hope that amusement park ride pays off for you and eventually does crest. And don't forget, this is very important, tomorrow, Saturday, The 19th of April, Luke and I are doing a live TBTL stream from our respective studios. We're calling it Tradio, and we're taking your phone calls. Join us on our YouTube channel. Actually, you're on our YouTube channel probably right now if you're watching this. And so you can watch us do the show live at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and we'll be taking phone calls specifically if you have anything that you want to buy or sell, or anything that you're looking to buy. Maybe you're looking for some sort of a special, as I said in the email last week, maybe decorative stones for your garden. I don't know. Call in and ask if anybody's got that. If you're looking to, sell a snow blower or give away some old Archie Andrews magazines, you can call in the Tradio live stream that we're doing tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. Pacific time right here on YouTube. In the meantime, I hope you all have a great weekend. We will talk to you next Monday. Well, tomorrow. I got to get out of here.